Raven was looking at the teams as they were surrounded by her band of thugs. Crow, well, isn't this a warm welcome? Raven, well, here comes the prodigal brother. Changed your mind on working for the old fart? Meanwhile, Beacon Office. Ozpin, ACHOO. Belinda, did you catch a cold? Ozpin, no. More like an annoying gnat trying to take a bite out of me. Belinda, Han incoming report. Team Dark has made contact with Raven's bandits. Ozpin, I see. It's time, I guess. He stood up and walked towards the window and raised his hand, and it glowed orange. Back to Raven. Drop your weapons, you're surrounded. Shadow. Tough talk coming from a coward who runs at the first sign of trouble. Crow, oof. Raven glares at the ultimate life form. Raven. Did Summer had an affair? Shadow glances at Sonic, who looks back, and then to Ruby, who also responds. He signaled a fist to Weiss, who spun the cylinder on Mertenaster. She then creates an ice dome protecting the teams, while the Speedsters gets to work. A blinding blur of red, black, and blue blazes around the bandits, knocking out many of them. The dome collapses as the teams charged forward. Weiss summoned a squad of knights who led the spearhead. Knuckles jumped up and slammed into a group of idiots, disabling them. Tails and Rouge went airborne and started picking off the bandits from afar. Rouge was given a stun rifle by Tails, and he was using his trusty high-tech tracking boomerang. Nora roars as she sent idiots flying like it's baseball, while Run goes Matrix, using his guns and gun-fu. Blake and Yang were performing better as Yang helps Blake get over her guilt by being a good friend and not being a toxic shit. Omega, worthless consumer models, annihilate. The bandits were losing bad. Crow tried to fight Raven but was blocked by Vernal. Raven was then squaring off with Shadow, who came back from his run. Raven, so you're Ozpin's new favorite pawn. Shadow, and you are Yang's deadbeat mother? Raven's eyebrow twitched. She reaches for her blade, but all she grabbed was thin air. She looked down to see her blade missing from her scabbard. She then looks back to Shadow, who is holding it in his hand. Raven, I just blinked and he took my weapon. How fast is he? It must be some sort of teleportation. She lost air in her lungs as she blinked again and was face to face with Shadow, who has his fist planted in her gut. Shadow, what's the matter? To slow for you. I can go faster if you want me to pick up the pace. Raven, you, cocky. Vernal saw her leader struggling and broke off of Crow to assist, but was tripped as Shadow Chaos controlled beside her and stuck his leg out. Crow, nice job, Shads. Shadow, only those close to me can call me that, Crow. Crow, my bad. Raven was kneeling on the ground as Crow and Shadow walked towards her, until lightning strikes hit between them as they jumped back. Shadow saw chaos energy emanating from the Bandit Queen. Shadow, so you're a maiden. Crow, what? He glares at his sister, knowing she might have killed its previous host, and he is sure as hell she didn't have these powers before. She stood up. Crow, do you mind explaining yourself? Raven, I have nothing to say to you, both of you. Not to Ozpin's pawns. Crow, newsflash, sis. Ozpin lets us do what we want now, and that kid is sure hell ain't no pawn. And he isn't playing the same game as us. We're here playing checkers, and that kid is playing 3D chess. Raven, she was weak. You should have seen it. She was so scared, paranoid even. Someone as weak as her wouldn't survive this world. I did her a service taking her out of this world and make use of her unused power. I'll show you what power is. Shadow, you want power? I'll show you what real power looks like. Shadow then releases his powers. Shadow was getting used to his unrestrained power, unlike before it tires him out very easily, but now it's gradually becoming battle-worthy. Raven felt chills at this new enemy. Shadow didn't waste time as he went on the offensive and hit Raven with everything he got. It was too fast as she was punched in the face and was sent through tree after tree after tree, until she came to a screaming halt into a giant rock. Team Dark and the rest mopped up the floor with the bandits and tied them up. Shadow powered down. Topaz contacted Gun and had a gunship dispatched for prisoner transfer.